Hello everybody, welcome to another Lewin Resources review. In today's video we're taking a look at the crystal version of Atlas. I've had to set this up. The box is absolutely massive. Normally I film myself in front of the camera, but I look a complete and utter mess at the moment, so we're filming in the studio. But I've got everything set up. I tried to make the base at the back there as big as I can. This is of course the crystal translucent version of the Lewin Atlas based on the MP10 mold. Really ridiculously large box. Just rotate, we've got Prime on the side there, Prime on his vehicle mode, and we've got the warning about not eating your toys on the back. So without further ado, let's crack him open. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. He is absolutely monstrous. I've had to kind of come back halfway into the room to get him into shot. And I think I've still got some of the lamp shining on the backdrop there to kind of illuminate him. And that's showing in shot as well. But just to give you an idea of how big he is, I mean, he takes up my entire display base. And I'm quite proud of the turntable, managing to handle turning him around, because that's something I personally couldn't do myself. But he looks fabulous, really clean, tidy representation of Prime. I love those translucent parts. I'm not normally a fan of these, and I promise I'm not going to get any more repaints of this. I've got the Captain America one, and I've got this guy. That's enough for now. I think that's kind of the MP10, because I think it's actually based on the Wei Zhang version. I think that's that kind of mold exhausted now, I think. But man, he does look sensational. I love all the inners and all the workings that you can see. I love the fact that you can take pieces off as well. The wheels do come off. It does allow the gas tanks to kind of hang slightly when you take those wheels off though, but it's a nice little addition because it really does tidy up the legs. And when we get round to the back section again, you'll notice that I haven't actually screwed those side panels on. I've had him displayed with those off. Again, it is a lot cleaner. But of course, if you get him transformed up, they are kind of an essential piece because they do form the front of the cab. It's just these pieces up here, they really do look nice, kind of clean, taken off there, but you just unscrew them and there's just some clips that come as standard and they just peg on. I haven't got any LEDs in this guy either. I've got them all in the other versions of Prime. If you want to see how he looks all lit up, then by all means I'll include a link at the end of this video so you can take a look. But man, he does look sensational. Something about the way the light just shines through him. Just shows all that intricate detailing and all the panels on him as well. MP10 was a good mold. I think it was just outdone by the engineering of the likes of the MP44 and the TE01 and the Magic Square version. You know, they were all very good representations of Prime. And I think it did affect the MP10's mold. I didn't think it aged as well as it could have done, but that being said, it still looks sensational, and especially done to this size and scale. Just up close and personal, absolutely adore how that looks. Lots of nice range on the head, gorgeous ratchets. Got die cast on the antennae. Those are the bits that could possibly break. And again for the arms as well, everything is very robust, very solid, especially for this type of plastic. Now I've been sitting on this figure for a while now. It was sent over as a sample from TF Direct and it arrived, but one of the arms was loose and damaged, but they've sent over the replacement part. It was a pre-production sample, so it's already gone around the houses, so I can't really blame the guys, and everything was replaced and sorted, so it now looks as it should, as if it was coming straight out of the packet. Really happy. I mean, if this is the first time viewing a Lewin Resources Optimus Prime, the ratchets are insane on these. Oh, so good. Now we've got the same sort of ratchets on these lower arms. The biggest gripe I have with mine is these windscreen wipers. Mine are incredibly loose. I've tried putting some Kiki in there as well to see if that'll kind of thicken it up and hopefully that should work. But we've got fully articulated hands, really nice hands as well. We do have a waist rotation, again done on a nice solid ratchet. Now, due to the figure being too large for me to lift on camera, I just can't do it. I don't want to put my back through any pressure, so I'm not going to try and lift this. But the legs ratchet all the way forwards, they ratchet all the way back, they ratchet out of the side, really strong joints in there as well. We have rotation down there on these knees. Like I said, these parts are die cast, big hefty chunks, and the wheels do untab. They are quite stiff tabbing, and I am a little bit dubious of trying to pull those out in case it damages the leg itself. And then we have big, huge, chunky die cast feet with ankle pivots as well. He really does hold a remarkably good stance. Here we have the baggie of parts for the back to hold on these sections. Basically, there's this piece here. The hinges go on and you can then screw them on. Now, they are solid plastics, not going to be overstressing the joints. And we get a baggie of screws. We get a gorgeous matrix of leadership, again huge chunk of die cast, and we also get a translucent collector's card as well. That's something I like. We get two of those leg trailer hitches that tab in to hold the legs together in his vehicle mode. And much like we got with the Captain America version, we also get a free gift as well. This time, however, it is a kind of a cell shaded version of his axe. Now, don't quote me on this, but with the Captain America, we got a translucent rifle, maybe a sign of things to come. Maybe this indicates that we're going to get a cell shaded version of this Prime coming as well. I don't have the room, but maybe this is a sign of things to come. I mean, it does look sensational, but it's a really nice big axe. It's just a lump, an absolute lump. I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, this is one end of the spectrum to the other, isn't it? That's the New Age Bumblebee, little and large. Now, Prime's rifle is done exactly the same as what we got with the Captain America one, albeit that was cast in the kind of purpley blue. This one is just the translucent dark plastic. Again, you've got space in there for your LEDs to get those lit up. To be honest with you, I don't like how these look as much with the LED because the light does spread across the area as opposed to having it kind of localized where we want it to be, but that's entirely up to the user themselves. As previously mentioned, this is too large for me to try and transform on camera. It's not worth trying to do it just to hurt myself, so I'm going to get this transformed up, check out his truck mode, show you how I personally like to display them. I really love how these scale with the 1/12 figures like Marvel Legends, etc. I think they look fabulous. So I'll get him transformed up, we'll take a look at his truck mode and see how it fares. And here we have him fully transformed up. He is absolutely massive. Quick scale comparison, what do I have to hand? I have animated Optimus Prime. There we go. It's an absolutely awesome piece. I say my windscreen wiper was a little bit loose. That original joint was detached in the box, but again, that was a pre-production sample. Downsides being there's no die cast around these shoulders, etc. So when you get the magnetic badges, they don't really stick. They're kind of held in by friction and just come apart, unfortunately. But I mean, everything rolls as it should. Really nice solid lump now in the center where the peg on the lower torso tabs in. So there's no real sag on the underside anymore. But it depends what you want from your figure. If you're looking for a giant crystal Optimus Prime, then yeah, I guess you can't really go wrong. This ticks all of those boxes. Personally, I still feel the Captain America version is the best they've done to date. Best paint job, really nice tight joints. Got those additional areas around the crotch section that all tabs in under here to stop any sagging. I believe with this being kind of the crystal translucent plastic, I'm kind of a lot more wary of it. It doesn't feel, it feels solid, but it's not as robust as that Captain America model. But that being said, it's still a sensationally large piece. Everything does what it's meant to. We've got kind of a rubbery plastic on these tires. Love the treads on them. Wish they'd kept the feet pushing together. at the back there, but I do like that we have these tabs that just tab in to hold everything into place. For a quick scale comparison, here he is alongside Marvel Legends Tony Stark and one of my Micronauts as well. I was inspired to dig out my Micronauts and my Micromen after watching Chris McFeely's History of Transformers. So that gives you an idea of how this juggernaut of an Optimus fares. And speaking of Micronauts, they're 3 3/4 inch, and the fact that they're translucent as well, that actually makes them look pretty decent. With Prime, I think Prime still towers over them and he is probably too big, but if we were to get a Spike Daniel to fit in these, I can see him being this kind of Micronaut style, and I like it. So there we have it, the behemoth that is the Crystal Atlas by Lewin Resources. I'll include a link where this can be purchased in the description below. Thanks again to TF Direct for sending this out originally. I'm just sorry to you all that it's taken so long to get this guy reviewed. It's just a massive venture to get things transformed up on these. So bear that in mind when making the purchase. Do I think they're worth the money? Yes, I think if you like your Crystal Primes, I think you're not going to go wrong with this. It's certainly a lot of plastic for your money. Do I think it's the best they've offered? No. I think the Captain America is still by far my favourite version of this mould, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed if this is the route you wanted to take. Until next time, from myself and the rest of the Collectables household, stay safe and goodbye.